Hi guys, it's Megan from imamom2.wordpress.com. I wanted to share a quick experience that my best friend and I actually had on the weekend at Starbucks. We actually went out, as we call it, to pillage different stores. And originally we actually were going to Michael's craft store because I had bought, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, so I'm sorry for the repeat. But I had bought a necklace with beads on it at Value Village in December. And I loved it so much. It's all these different green tones and all this, but there were no matching earrings. And I wanted to make some earrings. But I don't know how to make earrings because I am not crafty at all. However, my best friend is. So when I showed her the necklace and asked, pretty please, can you show me? She said, sure. And so we went to my version of hell, which is Michael's, over Christmas break to find matching beads and all the pieces to be able to make it. So we, after we had, as we call it, pillaged that store, which was actually really funny on a side note, we kind of scared a number of people. Sorry, tea break. I actually love this mug. It says, don't mess with me, I'm the mom. Anyway, as we were walking through, at one point we got separated and suddenly I hear this, Marco, very quietly, and I'm like, Polo, through the store. People looked at us funny, whatever. This is the way we are together. And then after we went to Michael's, we actually went 2 doors down to Starbucks, and we sat down and we had our chai and chit-chatting away type of thing. And we both seem to have this kind of out-of-body experience, for lack of a better term, where we both realized that us and the table beside us were the only ones that were not connected to our cell phones or video projection of some kind, basically some form of electronics. There was actually, strangely enough, I'm guessing he's a mid to late teen, but he's not like university teen. I think he brought his Xbox into Starbucks. He was playing video games and it had like this, almost looked like a bulletproof suitcase type of thing with the electronic in it. It was very, very strange. And it looked like he was just sitting there watching it very, very closely, but if you looked under the table, he actually had the components to be able to play the game. It was really, really weird. And then on the opposite end, there was kind of the same type of thing, although his wasn't this great big suitcase. I think it was an iPad or something along those lines. No, probably not an iPad. Anyway, I don't know technology. Where he was playing video games as well. Then there was somebody that was sitting behind my best friend, so I could see him. He at least was reading, but he was reading while he was attached to some form of electronics where he was watching a TV program as well. And directly behind my best friend, so she couldn't see him, but I could, was a gentleman that was actually reading with and not connected to any kind of electronic device, but she didn't know that. There was even a couple kind of off to, I guess, my 3 o'clock, but her 9 o'clock, where the woman spent the entire time on her cell phone, and you could tell that the man was getting really, really frustrated, and he just finally, eventually, you could see him roll his eyes, get fed up with it, and then he just took his cell phone out as well. And they were texting or something on their cell phones. So he was obviously very frustrated. What was very, very cool, though, was the table that was right beside us. It was a mother and son, and we were just absolutely in awe and thought it was completely wonderful that this little boy, as it turned out he was 9 years old, was sitting there writing. I know, paper, pencil, actually writing. It was almost like he was journaling. I'm not sure what exactly he was writing. None of my business. We chit-chatted a little bit between us about how fantastic this was, and then at one point we were able to actually open a conversation with the mom and just, reiterated with the mom how amazing it is to actually watch a child sit there. I mean, we were there for probably 45 minutes, something like that. And he was completely engrossed in this journal that he was, like, it was a little notebook type of thing that he was writing. And it was so meticulously neat. It was absolutely stunning, actually. I wish my writing was as neat as his. And, you know, I'm like, congratulations, Mom. That's absolutely awesome to see from an outsider standpoint. And the great thing of the whole situation was that the mom knew that it was very, very different, loved it, and completely encouraged her son to do this, to actually sit down and write out his thoughts and just be solitary and yet spend this time with his mom as well. And she was just sitting there reading a book. So it was absolutely wonderful to see. And I mean, frankly, I wish that my kids would do that. Having said that, my daughter will actually bring out notebooks and write in them, but it's like all these squiggly lines and then drawings and stuff. But again, at least she's writing something, physically writing something with a pencil or pen or markers or whatever. But to actually see this and experience this moment at Starbucks, watching this little 9-year-old boy, and oh my God, we embarrassed him. He was so like, okay, you people are weird. And I know that, but I just kept telling him how amazing it was to watch him do this writing and to please keep it up. You know, it's a lost art to be able to sit down and just write. Anyway, it's just an experience that I wanted to share with each of you that we had during the Christmas break. So Happy New Year to everybody, and subscribe down below if you want to follow me this year on YouTube. And also all my social media links are there as well. So Happy New Year and all the best in 2015.